Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be a pre-update on the next project that I'll be starting hopefully within the next week. The travel pod is slowly getting finished up, still doing some touch-ups and things on that, but this here is the Delta Flyer from Voyager with an interior, and it's a 1/32 scale. Has over 50 parts, including some crew members. I'll go over some of the parts. Probably won't do anything with the clear parts because it's really not going to show up all that great on camera anyways. This kit is huge, and I will show you the outer shell at the end of the video. But this instruction booklet, this model comes from Cozmic Scale Models, and that's who made the travel pod I am currently working on. And they produce some really good stuff. This gives you just a little bit of the history of the flyer, and there's actually two Delta Flyers. One was destroyed from, I think it was in Dark Frontier, was the two-parter episode from Voyager. Gives you a couple reference shots of the interior. Of course, they're kind of really dark, and I'm trying to find reference material for the interior as we speak. The first thing you got to do pretty much is you'll be working on the interior, assembling it, getting it all together, and then once you finish the interior, it actually slides inside the outer shell, and then you work on putting on the outer shell together, and then he also gives you some painting guides, and he gives you the placement of where all the decals go. Now the decals in this kit, I'll go ahead and open up this pack. This piece here is the main windows for the main top, and they're covered with protective film to protect the clear piece underneath. Can't see really the cutouts or anything, but this is mask for parts of the interior. For the parts of the exterior, he basically gives you mask so you can paint these here and these two here, and that's what this sheet here pretty much is. Here's one part of the decal sheet. As you can see, it's from the decal sheet you can tell that it's going to be a pretty freaking big model. He gives you two sheets for the outer hull and stuff in case you mess up. Excuse me. And then this is all the decal sheet for the interior, for all the control consoles and LCARS displays and whatnot. And then this sheet here is a sheet of black mask for these, so when you put these, so you put the mask on the clear part and go ahead and light block it and everything and paint it, and then you remove the mask and be able to put the decal on to where you can have light shine through it, and it will be lit. I'm thinking about maybe using some side emitting fiber optic throughout the model instead of all of it being LED strip tape. And that's all you get with that's that. You get this sheet here too, this cargo cage. He's even got it labeled up here, cargo cage and skylights. There's protective film over this clear sheet too, but the cargo cage goes in the back section of the flyer, and then these skylights, there's three of them, gives you an extra one. These go into the back side of the flyer too. So that's all included with that. gives you the mask set, gives you things how the mask set, how to use the decals. Now you have to cut these decals. You'll have to cut these decals as close as you can. They're not all individually done like a mass-produced kit. And you want to make sure you get as close as you can to where there's really no carrier film, but you don't want to get into the, you don't want to cut into it, because that will cause it most likely to may cause the color to run. I don't know if this is an inkjet or if this is laser jet. So if it was laser jet, then you wouldn't have to worry about it running, but if it's an inkjet printer that these were printed on, then yeah, you're going to have to be very careful. I have a laser jet printer, and so when I make my own decals and whatnot, I know that they'll be alright. So that's all this here that comes in this clear plastic bag. We'll get this put up and I'll start showing everyone the pieces and parts. So just give me just a second to put this stuff back in the bag. And I like to keep it back to being nice and tidy and no air getting in there. Alright. Take a swig of tea. Now we'll bring over some parts. This is the interior bottom, and as you can see, it is pretty freaking big. Just the interior bottom is about 14 inches long. You get several different bags of different parts. The clear parts I'm not going to take out of the bag. They're not going to show up anyways on the camera because you know they're clear and you're not really going to be able to see them. Here's the parts for the exterior. Here is the piece that goes on top of the Delta Flyer, the Borg modifications. Now a lot of this will be painted black, and then you'll be able to see the green showing through in certain areas like it does on the show. I'll have that. This here is the front part of the warp nacelle, or of the warp. Can't say nacelle because I'm not really nacelles. This is the impulse engine on the, you even got a label for your right, so this goes on the right side. It's got detail in it. Now I will be painting this and just leaving the areas that need to be shown. So, and I'll show you a piece of the warp coils, and this is also, he's got a label on here, right and left, and this is actually hollow. And so you'd be able to stick your lights in there. Now I thought about taking side light emitting fiber optic and running it through there, and that way to give it one even glow all the way across. And I can also pack some fiber fill in there too to diffuse the light even more, because the holes are big enough to pack some fiber fill in there. Now he does, for the front of the warp assembly, these are pretty much, they're hollowed out, but they've got a backing on them, and he's got some holes in them here. So, I mean, I could actually put some fiber fill in there if I want to kind of diffuse that light even more. Here are the, here's the part for the main deflector in the front, and then these little green and red ones are for the nav lights on each side. It gives you a He also gives you the option, instead of using the front warp pieces that I showed you, to these here, and these are actually hollow all the way through, so it's an open back instead of a closed back, and so you could actually, it would make it a little bit easier to light, and you put fiber fill, or like I said, I could put a side emitting fiber optic in there to light that up continuously, and pack it fiber fill and kind of paint it and make it look more realistic. So I'm not entirely sure on which way I want to go with these. And more interior shuttle bay parts, the roof and the back. Here are the landing gear. They're still in the bag. The seats, they're still on the sprues. I have to cut them off, but they are very well detailed. The little ladder that goes in the back here for the back. And he gives you the brass tubing for the legs. This will be able to where you're going to run your wiring down into the base. If you're going to put it on a base or put it in flight mode, I'm going to put mine on a base and make a diorama kind of thing. It's sitting in a shuttle bay. This thing's going to be too heavy to get it to sit on a pole just right and have to drill in the bottom, and I think it would look a lot better if it's in a display like on the like it's in the shuttle bay. He also includes 4 figures. This one's Tuvok. This one's Harry. This one is Tom Paris. And this one is B'Elanna Torres. And they are pretty good likenesses of them, to be honest. So those are going to be fun to paint up. And that's pretty much, that's all that's in that box. I don't want to take all these parts out and have to put them back in there. I've messed with it a little bit, and the clear pieces for the interior they're gonna need some work. There's some that's kind of warped. Maybe I can show you real quick. Pull out a couple. There's that one. And where's that? Oh, here it is. Alright, this is the front. Can't really see the detail in it, but this is the front. It's even got the little gauges and everything. And that fits right in there. Now these are the panels that go to the stations to each side in the back. This one here will go here, and there's some support. There's a support and everything that goes underneath of it. But I might be able to show you better with this one here. This one goes on this side. See if I can't get the hole. There we go. Alright. Let's see if I can show you. Be able to see it or not. I can't really tell with my... It's warped because it's warped up and then it's warped out. So I'll need to heat this up a little bit carefully and get this to be bent, push it back along here. But he had the supports just on the side here, and when the supports got clipped, some of this got ripped off. Now that's no big deal. With a resin kit, you're gonna have to do some work, and I'm fine with that. It helps me sharpen my skills even more. So I have clear resin, and I can always just touch it up with clear resin in here and it's going to be painted black anyways, because like I said, there's a L-car screen here and on top of this, and I think there's two back here on the side, so excuse me, that's not a big deal. Show you a couple more pieces here. This is the warp core, so you'll be able to light that up. Now that side emitting fiber optic would go good in here instead of putting an LED and trying to get it to shine. I think the light emitting fiber optic would work really good there. The interior pieces, the walls and stuff, they fit pretty good. I test fitted some of those. And let's try to get all this back in the box. And let me go grab the main attraction. This is what everybody's wanting to see. And let's try to swing you around with this camera here. Sorry about that. Hit the power button. Alright, let's try to get it in the frame here. Back it out. There we go. Now you see it's all one. This thing is about, it's 2 foot long. I'm just gonna say it's 2 foot long. I don't know how wide it is. It's about 15 inches wide. So it pretty much takes up my whole cutting mat. Like I said, it comes in 2 halves, and this is just taped on the front here, and you can actually take that off. I'm deciding on whether or not I want to be able to get this to fit and do the seam work and stuff on it to get it to fit, but also to where I can able to remove it to where you can see the interior, like if I take it like the Wonder Fist, I'm thinking about that, or putting rod. Try putting a rod in here or something, or a hinge to where I can raise this up and you can actually see the detail in there better. So I'm thinking about doing that, or just leaving it down. I mean, the windows are pretty big to begin with, so I mean, you'll be able to see in there quite a bit. So that's one option I'm thinking about doing. That tape back on there. And you can see that the top part where that green piece is cut out, so you don't have to worry about trying to cut that out. These aren't cut out, but I know that there is some green light that comes through this here, so with this being white, I will be able to do that. I would love to be able to have this warp core assembly here, the nacelle slide out like it did on the show, but I just don't know how I'm gonna make that. I don't know how I would even go about making that happen yet, and I may just not end up doing it. I believe this is the first Delta Flyer, because these are back here, these I believe are escape pods. And on the second version of the Delta Flyer, these back here were actually impulse thrusters. They can activate these to get more impulse speed. See if I can't flip it over. Here's the bottom. And the hatch is back here, it's open. You can have the hatch down, so that way you'll be able to see back into the med bay in the back of the cargo area. Now I do know also in the show that this area back here it's got a green glow to it, so I'll be doing that as well. As far as painting it, the Delta Flyer is pretty much all one color. There's no Aztecing on it, so I just got to figure out what color. Try to get as close as I can. So painting the outside should be fairly easy. It fits together really well. He's actually made it to where there are he's got locking pins. Let me take this top off and show you that. As you can see, he's actually got locking pins in here, so you'll be able to get it as fit together as snug as you can. And I'll be doing this up in, when it gets to that stage, I'll be epoxying this up in stages. What I mean is I'll do a little bit, clamp it down, let it cure and everything, go a little bit more, clamp it down, epoxy it, and keep on going until the whole thing is done. Because if you try to do this big behemoth all in one sitting, if you go through and slather epoxy in there, then you're gonna have, it's just gonna be a mess. And you probably won't have it lined up correctly, and you'll have to do a lot of body work, and that's not what I'm wanting to do. So that is it, guys, on this pre-update. The next time you come back and see this, I'll have some work done to it, and I'll go into more detail about what I'm going to do with it. So stick around, guys. Thanks for watching, and also thank to my new subscribers. I'm over 100 subscribers. I never thought in a million years I'd have more than a million, or more than 100. But you know, I'm glad. I'm happy for it. So if you know anybody else that wants to come watch my videos, send them my way. Until next time, guys, be safe out there, and have a good one.